This week we're going to talk about things we've studied in class and then actually seeing them in real life. I did my senior thesis on the Vikings and I went to Norway. When I saw the ship burials and the stave churches and the Viking longhouses, I was in heaven, mind blown. It was beautiful and amazing. And to see what I'd studied basically coming to life. So you don't have to go to that country, say that you're studying, because sometimes museums bring it to you. I studied the classics, as in Rome and Greece. And so I studied Pompeii, and in Chicago they brought in the Pompeii exhibit. So I drugged my parents and we went and saw it, and I was again freaking out. And so then when I went to Rome, we took one of those bus tours and we saw where Julius Caesar was murdered, and we saw it on the Ides of March.
That is amazing.
Geeked out. Titanic! I love Titanic! And so to see it in Chicago, to have it come here, museums bring things to life. They do.
History to life.
Ugh.
It's not just names and dates.
No.
It is things.
It's stuff.
Stuff!
I'm sure you've had experiences like that. Go!
Yeah, okay. I am a huge Holocaust nerd. It's my heart and my passion.
And people need to know.
Agreed. A lot of people believe it actually never happened, and if you believe that, you and I need to sit down and talk, okay? So I studied the Holocaust, and my junior year of high school, I was invited to a Lead America group to study national security and defense and, just politics and stuff like that. So they took us to the Holocaust Museum, and my first time there, the entire time I'm standing there, I'm like, oh my gosh. We were walking through it, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, that's the door to the crematorium. That's the sign that stands over Auschwitz. Oh my gosh, that's the train car that they would stand in. And the whole time it's just representation, and I'm freaking out, and everyone's just like, what's wrong with you again? And I'm like, you don't understand. This entire building, you're a person going through the concentration camp. And as you go into the elevators, they actually hand you this little passport, and you become a person that was in one of the camps, and that's who you are. And each page you flip it, each level you go down. The whole time you're walking through, you're seeing suitcases, and then my favorite room is just full of shoes, and you're seeing this and you're sitting here, you're like, before that, the Holocaust was just in my textbook. It was a thing, it's a story.
Yeah.
Walking into the museum and seeing it, and I'm like, this actually happened. How can someone do this to another person? And then you're having me, people will be like, how can you so openly talk about the Holocaust and be excited about it? I'm like, because I don't want it to happen again. So
we have to remember it.
My favorite president is JFK. Going to see the Sixth Floor Museum in Dallas, you can actually not stand exactly where Oswald would have stood, but you can stand and think over, and you can see how he would have possibly made that shot. And you learn so much more about just that day.
Yeah.
And
battlefields.
Exactly.
I did my internship at Harpers Ferry National Historic Park. I got to visit Antietam and Gettysburg. The land is now the artifact.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where history happens. Museums just bring it to life. We said we've got artifacts behind us. This is history. This is history right here. Even art museums, that's a piece of history right there. That's a time.
Monet, Picasso.
Yeah, that was their time. You're seeing what was happening at that time. What was the trend? What was, the artistic style happening? And it just brings it to life. So find what you're interested in. Just go visit
a
museum. You may like science. Go visit a science museum.
Those are cool.
Those are awesome. Those are super hands-on. Like I said, I love physics, so it brings physics to life. It's so fun. So go visit museums and tell us what your favorite thing is that you've seen in a museum.
Comment below.
See you next week.
Bye. Don't touch things.